Back here, first things first, we are joined by Chris Broussard once again. So, Broussard, we talked earlier this week about the interesting end to the Clippers season. Maybe they attempted and succeeded in avoiding the Lakers in round one. They sat most of their regulars, including Kawhi and PG. I'm not saying they did. I'm also not saying they didn't. But Ty Lue was asked about this yesterday, and he said, quote, "I don't give a damn what anybody else thinks on the outside. We decided to go health over anything else. We finally got our team healthy, and that is what we focused on. Whatever people say on the outside, I don't care. I don't read Twitter, have Twitter, and Insta-Twit, all that. I don't care about all that. I am my own man, and I do what I want to do. That's how I live my life." I'm just going to let you guys know I looked up Insta-Twit because I didn't know what that was. Now I know why. Chris Broussard, what do you make of Ty Lue's comments? I was like, Insta-Twit? I don't know.
First of all, I absolutely love Ty Lue's comments, especially the Insta-Twit, but that's what he should say, all right? That's what he should say to defend himself. That's what he should say to defend his players. That's what he should say to get his players in the right mindset going into this postseason. But I do believe they avoided the Lakers. A lot of people around the league feel that way. I've been told that by someone who would know that they did want to avoid the Lakers early in the playoffs. And I don't like that mentality. Look, if you're the LA Clippers, it's one thing if you're an 8th seed with no chance to win the championship, and you really don't have a chance. You're just happy to get there, or you're hoping to make a decent run, and that's a building block for your franchise. The Clippers are in championship or bust mode, at least Western Conference championship or bust mode. They need to get to the finals. All right, you got two of the best swingmen in the league, two bona fide stars, a superstar in Kawhi Leonard. You've got great depth. You've got playoff Rondo, and you've got the memory of last year's meltdown to drive you. And you are avoiding someone, you need to be entering the playoffs thinking we will take on all comers. LeBron, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, Chris Paul, and yeah, bring on Brooklyn. That needs to be the mentality, not we don't want to see the Lakers in the first round. To be honest, you'd rather see them in the first round, in my view. I get it. If you lose, it's bad to go out that early. But I think the best time to catch the Lakers is the first round rather than the conference finals. Because if the Lakers get to the conference finals, that means LeBron and AD are clicking. That means they're about as close to 100% as they're ever going to get this year. And they will be rolling, and they'll be a much tougher matchup than they would be in the first round. So I like Ty Lue, and he did the right thing by what he said. But I just don't think they handled this properly.
There goes that superhero, Mr. Qualifier, Chris Broussard, the great one. Hey, listen here. I understand what you're saying, Chris, but that's exactly why Ty Lue did what he did. Keep in mind, Ty Lue was a champion as a player and as a coach. Not many people can say that and boast those types of accomplishments. He's seen what the media can do to a team as a player, and he's seen what a media can do to a team as a coach. So what he did right now, he just put the force fields up against people like you, Chris Broussard. It's up. And then all those things. Why did you duck the Lakers? You avoided the Lakers. It's out there. It's bouncing off of them. Because here's the thing. You may very well be 100% correct in what you're saying and in your assessment. But as long as those players in that locker room for the LA Clippers don't subscribe, buy into, believe, agree, create doubt based upon things that experts that are respected like yourself may be saying about avoiding this Lakers team. The one thing I know about this Lakers team, when you look at their talent pool, as long as they're focused on what it is they need to do and there's no confusion, no distractions, and mentally they're dialed in and emotionally they're into it, this is one of those teams that may mess around and win the entire deal. It's all of those other things. What did we hear about Paul last year in the bubble? It was mental health. He was breaking down mentally and emotionally in the bubble last year. And ultimately, I think that that's what costed this Clippers team the ability to compete at a level that we've been expecting them to compete at. So for Tyronn Lue to set off, like to light the fuse right now and come out and definitively say, put that on me. You want to put we duck the Lakers? Put that target on me. You want to say we can't beat the Lakers? Put that target on me. Y'all just focus and go out there and play ball. And as a former player and now as a coach, those are the best coaches to have, Nick, because in the end, if I believe in you and you believe in me and we believe in unstoppable force we become. So I like what Tyronn Lue did, Nick.
Wow.
Well, I like what he said. I adore Ty. I think he's an excellent coach.
Oh, you're qualified.
I think he gets no credit for what they accomplished in Cleveland. And if you talk to people who were on that team, they talk about how important he was, not only in their championship year, but in the 2018 season after the Kyrie trade. And I think he's done a great job with the Clippers. But wild. But let's just pretend for a moment that I'm presenting a case to a jury of my peers. And the case is the Clippers not just rested their stars, but intentionally lost the final 2 games of the year for whatever reason. To me, there's only one logical reason: to be the 4 seed, avoid the Lakers. I would only need to present 3 pieces of evidence. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I will not take up much of your time. There are just 3 things you need to know. The first thing you need to know is Yogi Ferrell. In his Clippers career, he had played 40 minutes. He had taken 14 shots. In the final 2 games of the season, he played 56 minutes and took 22 shots. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, piece of evidence number 2, a man named Jay Scrubb. He had played 8 minutes in his NBA life, taking 3 shots. In the final 2 games of the season, Jay Scrubb played 76 minutes and took 33 shots. And I will leave you with this. The man, Daniel Otero. You might say, who is that? Isn't that very expensive sushi? Well, it is, but it's also a man who plays for the Clippers. He had never taken more than 4 shots in an NBA game. In the final game of the year, he was 5 for 21. And in the 4th quarter, the Clippers repeatedly called isolation plays for him, and he went 2 of 10 from the field in the 4th quarter. That's it. I rest my case. You won't need long to deliberate. We watched the games, Wilds. We saw not only who wasn't playing, but who was playing and the plays that were being run. Now, I think it's a mistake by them for a number of reasons. I think what Broussard said about getting the Lakers early is correct. I also think that if they had just beaten Oklahoma City, they'd have gotten Portland. They haven't lost to the Blazers in 2 years. I think Portland is a far better matchup for them than the Mavs are. So I think it's the wrong strategy, and I think it sends the wrong message. I also think it's wild. It's undeniable that that's what happened.
Bruce, I think you make an excellent point, Nick. And Broussard, do you think it would be a dereliction of duty on Ty Lue's behalf, on the entire Clippers organization, if they went out and won those games and then ended up playing the Lakers and getting booted? Like, Ty Lue's trying to win a championship, and he probably has a directive from Steve Ballmer, like, we need to win. We didn't win last year, and I cleaned house. So do you think if they played everybody, if they tried to beat the Rockets and beat the Thunder and ended up facing the Lakers and it didn't go well, do you think Steve Ballmer would be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, it's not a mental, like, we're trying to win a championship. So do you think it would have been a dereliction of duty if he played everybody and tried to win?
Not at all. I think it would have sent a message to your players. And again, LeVar's right. I hope the players buy into what T. Lue said and that they don't think they tank. They think they can beat the Lakers. But it would have been a message to your players that we can beat the Lakers and we'll take them on right this very moment. So, and look, everyone understands if they lose to the Lakers in the first round, yeah, you went out early in the first round, but you lost to the defending champions who very well get to the finals or win it again this year. There's no shame in that. So I just think you have to look at the full context rather than, oh, they lost in the first round. Look at who they lost to. Maybe it's a great 7-game series and they go down in the first round. People could respect that more so than avoiding the Lakers, and then maybe you lose to someone else in the second or conference finals.
Right. All right, but a great case, Nick. I love that. I found that incredibly entertaining. We're back previewing the play-in game tonight.
Law and Order
Lakers
days,
Warriors
didn't it,
next.
Jenna?
First things first.
Reminded
All
Jenna
three of
when
my
she was
Law and Order
starring.
days.